transparency. The Russia-linked Revil Group says it will unlock all the computer systems it's blocking in exchange for the payment. Let's take you to Cape Town and talk to Charl van der Walt, Global Head of Security Research at Orange Cyberdefense. Do we have any idea of the full scale of this attack yet?
Hi, Lucy. Thanks for speaking to me. No, I don't think we have any idea yet. Thus far, researchers have identified about 30 managed service providers. Those are companies that offer IT services to other companies. And from those, about 1,000 end customers have been identified. But really, I think it's too soon to say what the full impact is going to be.
But we're talking about end customers, as you say. It's schools, it's small public sector companies, it's travel and leisure organisations. It's not necessarily just big business here, is it?
No, not at all. And you know, it's a bit of a misnomer about these kinds of attacks in general. About 75% of them impact businesses that we would classify as small. In other words, less than 1,000 employees. That's even before this incident.
How has this happened?
Well, this company, Kaseya, produces a product which is used by these IT service providers. And there was a bug, a security vulnerability in this product, which got discovered and compromised by this group of ransomware actors. And then they used it as a launch point to move their way into the clients of the service providers that use this technology. From there, they start encrypting machines and stealing the data.
And what do we know about Revil? This is the Russian-linked group saying it will unlock all these computers if it gets money.
So Revil is a very well-known player in this space. We've been tracking them since about May 2019. They have over 300 victims to their name, about 135 of them this year alone. That makes them this year about the third or fourth most active player of this kind. Like many of these players, they use what's called a ransomware as a service model. In other words, they have affiliates that use technology and backup from them in order to launch their own attacks. And they're pretty indiscriminate. As I said, 75% of the victims in small businesses. They hit countries all over the globe. They hit countries and customers and victims in every vertical. Pretty standard ransomware as a service operator.
Is one of the sort of key messages or learnings here that security cannot be seen as something that is isolated, that there is so much interdependency?
Correct. I think that's absolutely true. You know, we saw this earlier this year with the so-called SolariGate or SolarWinds incident, where also a technology provider was compromised, and through them, a number of their clients were compromised. And so we literally exist in IT in this web of trust, you know, with strands running in every possible direction. So whenever one business, one technology is compromised, it has ramifications across the whole web of technology. And I think it's really time that technologists start to realize that that's a fundamental characteristic of the internet and of cyberspace, and that we can't afford to think about our security as something that exists in isolation, you know, separate from the ecosystem that we operate in.
I think lots of people are still learning that, actually. It's an interesting lesson to hear more about. Charl van der Walt, thank you very much for joining us with your thoughts there from Cape Town.